Everyone, welcome back to Gaming the System. This is a bonus round featuring Matt and Alex, half of Gaming the System. You probably noticed that the God of War Ragnarok trailer has just gone live yesterday, along with a million other pieces of information from Sony Santa Monica. So what Alex and I are going to do, we're going to watch the trailer, we're going to give you our reactions to it, and then we are going to have a chat about what's next for Kratos and Atreus and all the other characters, old and new. So, Alex, how did you arrive at the trailer yesterday?
Well, I actually forgot the showcase was happening until after it happened. But I think I actually initially came to God of War quite late after it initially came out. I forget what year it was, a couple of years ago now, I think. But absolutely loved it, of course. Yeah, I think I remembered vaguely about something like 10ish last night that it had happened, and then I was like, oh my god, how could I forget? And then found it immediately and watched it straight away and was blown away and very, very excited, and I'm sure I'll discuss that as we go on and watch the trailer. But yeah, no, I'm disappointed that I forgot though, because I was waiting for it all day. But yeah, made it in the end.
Yeah, so me, I had an awful traffic nightmare yesterday where a half-hour journey turned into a 2-hour journey.
Oh no.
Utter debacle. So I got back and I was exhausted, dead to the world. So I slept through the showcase entirely.
Yeah.
But then I woke up and looked at Twitter, and then so the first thing I saw was a guy saying, "Hi, I'm your director," and it wasn't Corey Barlog.
Yeah.
And that made me go, shit, it's not him, it's not the king. So I'm like, oh, okay, shit, I wonder if God of War happened. And then I looked, I found the have you seen the pictures of all the characters?
I have, yes, I very much enjoy looking at those.
That's what I found next. I went, oh, okay, new characters, see differences.
Yeah.
And then I found the trailer itself, which we are now going to watch. Here we go. So we're just gonna play it all the way through without interrupting, without pausing it. But we can just talk as it goes through. Oops, wrong button.
Is the sound is the sound working?
Yes. I can just about hear it.
Okay.
And Bear McCreary's back.
Yes.
With the music.
How could he not be? Amazing.
He sounds like such a bitchy teenager.
Oh.
I still feel sorry for Freya.
Yeah, I know. There's so much going on there. We didn't have time to process from before.
Mimir.
Yes.
That's hilarious. I love Mimir.
He is one of my favourites.
Now, the ice sled is a work of genius to sort of a replacement for the boat.
Yeah. I didn't even twig that. The boat's not going to... Well, there is a boat there now. But yes. For some parts, there will be no boat.
It is that same level of beauty, isn't it?
Yeah. It just feels like it's even bigger and more rich this time around.
And that's new, that you can fight, you can jump off of things.
Yeah. And it's good that they're showcasing some of the same combat mechanics as well as some new touches as well.
I love the actor who plays... I'll talk about it in a minute.
This was a shocker.
God, you
All
should
these
see
new
how
creatures.
Kratos takes apart centaurs in the original
Yeah.
game.
Of course they would be, because they're Greek. Mm-hmm.
You should say, the question is, are you coming with me?
Mm-hmm. Properly teasing at the end there.
Mm.
Who is this person and why are they there? So good.
So what stood out to you? Like,
What didn't stand out? I mean, oh my gosh, I think it definitely feels like it's just picking up where it left off, and it just hit you. Like each moment of the trailer, you're like, oh, I remember that from the first game. I remember that. Like the whole feel and tone of the conversation between Kratos and Atreus is just, it's still the same, but it's evolved and it's grown. Obviously, because Atreus is grown, that's one of the major things that you pick up on straight away. And I'm so glad it's the same actor. I can't quite believe it's the same actor because his voice has changed so much. But that just proves how much older he is, and I guess Atreus is as well. So it'll be so interesting to see how the character and the stories develop. But I mean, I can't even begin to process so much of it. There's just so much like you can pick out from every frame of the trailer. What about you, Matt? What did you find stood out for you?
So I've got positives and negatives to
Okay.
go through. I think because we're both heavily invested in it and heavily invested in the story.
Yeah.
But you haven't experienced the like the origins of Kratos.
No.
I've been playing it for 16 years now, and I think I really felt a like a transcendent expectation of it. And I feel like a bit it was just this was showing, oh, this is what it actually is and what it's going to be. And so that's just a bit of a shock to the system, seeing Corey Barlog not being it, so it not being what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So that was just a bit jarring. I loved the. I'd been thinking about who could play Thor because Balder was completely unique and completely perfect
Yeah.
as an antagonist there. And if you don't have that level of caliber in the next one, then it's not going to work. But then Ryan Hurst, the actor who plays Thor, is there is no one else on the planet who could do a better job than him. So I'm so happy that they chose him. Also, of all the new like looks, I love Kratos' big cloak.
Yeah. Yeah, I love how they were just showing off the PlayStation 5 with like the way you could see the individual hairs and the flecks of snow right at the start. I think that was kind of a callback to the original God of War trailer. I think I vaguely remember it was just Kratos in a cave and then not much else besides, but I may be recollecting incorrectly.
Yeah.
But it did start the same way, which I thought was an interesting point. And also the fact that Atreus came back into the cave with a deer, which was one of the first things you do in God of War, was go hunting for a deer. And the fact that he's been successful shows, again, it's like telling you without telling you in words that he's grown and he's now more capable. So it's kind of, this is where we're at with this game. And it takes you from there. It's a very clever start to the trailer. Yes.
Do you know who the girl at the end is?
No, I don't. No, should I know? Do I
Oh,
want to?
her name's Angerboda. It's a beautiful
Okay.
name. And
Yeah.
my instant thought when I saw her was the exact same quality that I got from Atreus in the first game. That's a level of real beauty and depth.
Yeah.
and I'm blown away, and I can't wait to see what she ends up being.
Yeah. Yeah,
And the
definitely
fact that they've got a
misfinished.
person of color in it is
Indeed. Yes.
also
A good thing. Yes. I think there seems to be more humans in the world at this point within the world. I mean, there was that one scene briefly that's kind of a turning point for Atreus, in where he first kills somebody. You know, that was, I think, the only time we came across humans in the first God of War. But from looking at the trailer, it seems like there might be more humans this time around. I could be wrong though, but it looked to me like there were a few in the combat scenes potentially, and a few different creatures as well, obviously. So some interesting things. I don't know whether we'll be going to some new realms. I suspect we will be. But what are your thoughts, Matt? Do you think we're going to stick in Midgard, or are we going to go to other places?
I think the plan is to explore new lands,
Yeah.
and I'm pleased with them. Like, they've taken the blueprint that Corey Barlog built,
Mm.
and now they're using that foundation to create something different, which I
Yeah.
respect, because you have to respect,
Mm.
because you can't try and one up something like the first God of War game. You can't try and just keep on trying to go bigger and bigger. You need to completely make it go in a different direction. And
Mm.
I hope that that's what they're doing with bringing in, because there's a lot more characters now. It was basically only, I think there were 8 characters in the entire first game.
Yeah.
And because Kratos always wants to be a recluse, but Atreus is a people person and he
Yeah.
wants to help people. And it will just be, I felt that I think they released too much information yesterday,
Mm.
because they released literally everyone who's working on the project says, "Oh, look, I'm working on the project,"
Yes. Yeah.
and they released all of the pictures. I'll come to my big problems with some of the
Mm.
pictures shortly, and I wonder if you'll
Yeah.
share them. And then they released a 3-minute trailer, which felt like there was too much
It's
talking in
quite
it.
a
There wasn't.
long trailer for a first reveal, isn't it? Usually they're like a minute or less, or even just a title card. I mean, we had that at the last, whenever it was, last year. I can't remember, but it was a very long trailer. Yeah.
I felt like there was too much noise everywhere,
Mm.
because when they announced the last God of War with that 12-minute trailer,
Mm.
that 12-minute like gameplay trailer at
Oh
E3,
yeah, no, that's right.
and a lot of it was just quiet going around. But this, it was talking, and then there was fighting, and then there was talking, and then there was more fighting, and then there was
Perhaps
talking
they're
over the
going for
fighting.
the shock and awe tactic. After so long without hearing anything, and then obviously announcing the delay. Perhaps they were like, "Let's give the people what they want. They want everything." So maybe it
Yeah,
was
they want
just
everything.
yeah, yeah. Maybe it was just a reaction to that. I don't know. But
Uh,
either way, you can suspect there's probably a lot they haven't told us. So I'm hopeful that there is obviously lots more to come.
what did you think of the? I think I've got pictures of most of the people.
Yeah,
What did you think of the new costumes of some of them?
I thought it was interesting. Because of course you could kind of color code Atreus to whatever you wanted him to to hone in on it, as in like your strength and stuff. So I think I went for the Atreus that could heal the most and was most helpful in finding health for Kratos. So I can't remember what colour that was. I think it was blue, possibly. But yeah, I don't know what yellow would signify, but I like it. And I think obviously Atreus is looking much older now and sounding much older, but you know, the general outfit itself you can recognise it's Atreus. He's got the same sort of feel about it, generally speaking. It's just slightly more mature. He's got slightly more sort of arm around the middle, I would say. Yeah. So generally speaking, I'm okay with Atreus' new look. Yeah, I would say that's all good.
I was a bit disappointed because it just feels like he looks the same as the last one, only just scaled up a little bit. And I just thought I've seen so much awesome fan art of what he could look like when he becomes a teenager, and they just
Yeah,
seem
but
to have gone.
it could be like just the base level before you upgrade his clothes and things, because there could be some scope there to find outfits and all sorts. Because Kratos was quite customizable, and Atreus was slightly less so. So maybe this time around, he might be more customizable. You just don't know yet.
I hope so. I
But
was hoping
yeah,
something, a cool haircut,
I know
but
what you
he's just
mean.
on.
Yeah, he could have maybe some tattoos and things, but you never know. We could get them in the middle of the game. Don't know.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
maybe Angerboda will tattoo him.
Oh yes, exciting times.
What else have we got?
Mm-hmm.
I
My
love this photo.
favourite. I still haven't worked out what he's got in his mouth.
It's so he can turn the pages.
Oh, so he's reading. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, I love it. So good. Love
One thing
how they have to entertain him stuck in the house.
I bet I bet he never stops talking.
No, oh gosh, he must be annoying. You don't want to hear him after a little while.
One
Yeah.
thing I loved about the first game is that Kratos never calls him Mimir.
No,
He
just head.
only calls him Head.
Yeah, yeah. It's quite funny, isn't it? It's definitely one of my favourite characters.
Just chilling on the back.
Yeah. And I didn't notice it on my first watch through, but Atreus is sat in the front, but it took me a little while to pick up on that. And I think I did read on Twitter the wolves have names as well.
Oh, it's like Specky and Spark or
Spanner
something.
or
It's
something.
very,
Yeah.
very cute.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I hope they don't die.
Oh god, no,
They better
don't
not
put
die.
them in jeopardy now. Gosh. But yeah, Kratos hasn't changed very much, I don't think, when you think
I just
about his original first outfit. Just slightly more armour. A lot. It's definitely gone down the leather route. So it's not like a big brush shiny Kratos. It's a laid back sort of casual, but protected Kratos.
there's
I thought he
more.
did look slightly older in the trailer. They have made him a little bit older as well, which is natural, of course. But yeah, again, no massive changes. But
I like that the world feels colder,
yes,
and I love that I can see that particularly in Kratos's all the new fur he's got.
that's true. Yes, yeah, and his big cloak, obviously, in the trailer. That's a big a big pointer to the fact that it's really cold.
Right, let's look at Freya.
One of the first things I noticed in the trailer was the tear stains from obviously have stayed there from when we, spoilers, killed Balder. But yeah, that was an instant impact to me. I was like, oh my god, she's still. You can see how the rage and the grief is still etched onto her face, and it's going to be intense when we do meet her in the story. I don't know what our relationship's going to be like, but I can't wait to find out how that develops and how that impacts on the story, because she is essentially now an enemy. So I'd be very interested to find out what happens. And she looks like she's weary and forlorn and just tired of the world in general. I mean, why wouldn't you be if you're grieving? But you can see it in her face.
It's interesting what you said about the eye,
Yeah,
the tears, because I thought that was
yeah.
actually a really shit idea for
You
them
did?
to have done. Yeah, just
Oh,
because it feels really. She wears makeup and it
I
and it's
suppose.
running. I've just felt it. It didn't hit right with me. You can
Fair
make
enough.
her look grief-stricken. She would look. She doesn't need. They didn't need to put that in there. It just felt a bit
I just got the sense
to me.
it was like a permanently etched thing, like a tattoo almost.
Mm.
That's the impression I got, but that might just be me. Again, we don't know how recent it is when we see her in the trailer. It could literally be like, I don't know, I mean, Atreus has grown up, but he could be with his giant mother. He could have spurted up in the space of 2 weeks. We don't know.
Maybe.
Because one of the dwarves does say what happened to you in the trailer. So I expect there's some magic at work there.
Cute. Ingeborg, I love her hair.
Yes. Yes.
Really, everything about it is so distinctive.
I love the earrings and just the brooches and the jewellery is really cool as well because, yeah, it's all like what you would find at the time naturally. And it gives her an air of status as well. So, but I've no idea what kind of role she's going to play. But it gives her a kind of level, as in that she's got some status, so she's going to be important.
Yeah, she's very intense. I'm looking forward to seeing what transpires with her.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Kratos' other half, the Norse god of war.
Ben Prendergast. I should know. I know that name. I should know what he's done. But I can't remember. I'll have to Google him later. But yeah, that's definitely revealing quite a lot about who's who and things already. But yeah, I'm excited. I thought it was classic sort of God of War storytelling, the way that without any words he just stood up and was immediately much taller than Kratos. It's like that's the level of humour that we got in the first game, and it's just come back again, and it's like, boom, there's another one of your favourite things from the first game, and here it is in a new way. And I'm just really excited to see how that develops, because there's going to be some definite fun conversations there. I can imagine us all running around together and having banter between the gods, as it were. It should be really fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
One of the best things I loved about the last game was how Kratos grew as a person and changed and developed. And I think he's going to try and learn a lot from Tyr,
Yeah.
because Kratos just wants to hide, but he can't because he's the outsider in this world. But everyone else is a part of it. Everyone else is part of the mythology. He's an anomaly there.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that, because I think it's odd to have Tyr be alive and just tied up in this
Yeah.
tiny dungeon, because
How did he get there?
he created the Bifrost,
Yeah.
and he created the Lake of Nine, and he hid Jotunheim, and he's alive in this place, and Odin didn't just find him and say, "Let me into Jotunheim." It's just odd. I'm really hoping. I don't know if they've kept the original writing team. I hope they have, because I'm just, if they can get the writing right, then I'm sure that everything will fall into place.
Yeah.
But I think they were, whoever edited the trailer, I think they lent a bit too heavy on the on putting the words in, because I think they're probably out of context. It's hard to experience them with the weight that they will have in the game.
Yeah.
I did think when he stood up, it was like Lady Dimitrescu, the sexy vampire from
It's true.
Resident
Yeah.
Evil.
Yeah. It's got those vibes for sure.
Right, okay. There's one more person we haven't addressed yet.
Yes. I think I know who.
So I'll be interested. I'll let you go first and see what you thought of this. Thor, God of
Oh
Thunder.
my gosh. Yeah. Some definite. First thing I'm thinking of is Asterix and Obelix, you know. It's a
Literally,
comic. Yeah.
where is it?
It's just so, yeah. Yep. Definitely. Yeah. I
Honestly,
mean,
when
it's the ginger hair for one as well. That's, yeah. Not what I expected, I don't think.
no,
But
honestly,
interesting.
when I first saw it, I thought it was a joke because that was the first thing that I saw
Mm.
was the picture of the characters. I thought it was like a fan art funny thing, and so that's going to be really difficult for me to get used to
Mm.
because he just looks fat. He looks like one of like a world's strongest man
It's true.
body,
It's true.
but
There's nothing wrong with
they
that,
do look
though.
fat.
But yeah,
No, there's
it's
nothing
not
wrong with
what.
being fat.
No, exactly.
It's just I don't. That's not how I imagined because Mjolnir is supposed to be a weapon of mass destruction,
It
and
is.
all the stories that you've heard about Thor and how what a monster he is, he didn't look like that in my head, and it's just going to
No.
be hard.
But has your head been shaped by Marvel and other depictions of Thor?
I don't know. No, just I don't know what he was going to look like, but I just
Mm.
didn't think he'd look like that.
Fair enough.
In
No, it'd
fact,
be interesting.
in the trailer when he puts
Yeah.
his cloak aside, he's got fat sausage fingers.
Oh, poor Thor. Nice. No, it'd be good. I can like the first thing I thought of when I saw the tummy was I don't know if you've played in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. There's those really big enemies that are quite large, and they just attack you with their belly
Oh yeah,
sometimes and
yeah.
like fling you out. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that. I'm like, is he just going to fight like that? Because that would be kind of awkward. I'm sure not though. I did see in the trailer. I don't know if it was Thor, but someone came down out of some lightning. And I don't know if that's Thor assisting or some kind of other creatures, but there was some definite lightning in combat on one section of the trailer. There was some interesting things. I don't know whether they were human or not, but there was that one that charged at Kratos with like the horns, the golden horns. I don't know what part of the world they could be from, but that was really interesting. Obviously, the centaurs picked up on those; they were looking really cool. And the giant lizardy creature, also looked. That was quite a shocker. We're very excited about that. And did you notice in combat when Atreus actually climbed on top of his light deer? I can't remember what the actual skill is called, but you know when you use the creatures to help in combat, he actually climbed on top of it,
Oh,
which was cool, and rode around on it.
watch that again.
You will. I picked up on it about the third time, so it took me a little while, but yeah, definitely have a look because that was new to me. There wasn't too much I could spot that was, apart from obviously pulling yourself close to things with the chains and leaping off the edges of stuff. There wasn't too much different in the combat, but it was just showing like an improved version of what we already love from the combat, like all the axe play, and our favourite things about the axe are just looking bigger and better. So very pleased with that side of things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're building on the combat from the last game
Yeah.
and all the new takedowns and being able to like get yourself up to another level.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
was really cool.
Awesome.
So,
Yes.
final thoughts on for the bonus round on God of War.
Final thoughts are that I can't wait to find out more. And I really enjoyed that trailer. I'm going to have to keep watching it because I'm sure there's definitely stuff I've missed. But I'm really happy that a lot of the things I love are still going to be there and they're just going to be developed and evolved and be bigger and better, hopefully. And there's not too long to go now. So, yeah, we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled.
Mm. Yeah, so for me, it was a bit of a shock in a couple
Mm.
of ways, and just it being like not what I thought it was going to be. But having taken a step back for a little bit, had a breather, talked about it, written it down a bit, and just sort of relaxed into it. Right now, it's a real thing. It's on the way. Going, yeah, I am extremely excited about it. Sony Santa Monica wouldn't. They've been doing God of War for a long time, and Cory Barlog's producing it. They've got an incredible team, and I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm going to trust them and just be excited and see what happens.
Awesome.
Cool. Right. I think with that, then, we will bring this to a close. Thank you very much for watching or listening. We are Gaming the System live every Thursday at 7 p.m. with either a podcast, a bonus round, or a live Let's Play. Alex just did a fantastic Hitman 2
Thank you very much.
the other day. Really fun, which will be on YouTube as well. Please do like, share, and subscribe, particularly subscribing and commenting on these videos. That helps us move up the search algorithm. And if you're on iTunes, please give us a 5 stars on the comment there, because that helps us get into more ears as well. Thank you very much, and we will see you next time. Bye.